I've given my thoughts on the triple album theory before. Even the name alone is a little odd. But I've mentioned sort of what I think of that, which is generally not terribly inspired by it. I don't think it's the most compelling. So a lot of this theory seems to be built around, like you said, the Breach Tour web series. They did one for the Clancy tour, they do one for most tours. And how there are all these different connections to be found with the number 3 between the different episodes. But basically, the number 3 has been appearing in some different ways. And people are like, oh, this means there's some 3 on the way. And what I've been struggling to figure out, and I did watch this video and he didn't really answer it because I don't think he knows, because I don't think anyone knows. What does that mean? Like, the number 3 is being teased. Are we connecting that back to the triple album theory? Is there something else? Is there a third band member?
Are very specific things that kind of keep on occurring. I wouldn't say they're coincidences, but they are certainly interesting placements. That's
Okay, so I know roughly what he says here. I think I'm going to switch over. Thanks for posting that, Levi, but I'm going to switch over to these Reddit posts because I want to take a look at things from this perspective. It's basically what he said, just a more of a look at what some of the theorists, those theorizing this themselves are saying. So there's this sign that's been appearing nonstop, this 3 sign, and I guess he said the word 3. I don't even know what the connection is here. Feels too hinty and too obvious, but like always, no explanation just yet. This is from Broken Pikachu, so shout out to them for posting this. I feel like we've all at least seen the 3 come up multiple times in different ways during these videos. To me, it's very reminiscent of the 2 symbol, as someone just mentioned, with their hands during the Skilled and Icy era and a Clancy, but now it's 3. To top it off, the same blurry camera effect that we saw Blurry Face use during the build-up to Clancy came back today in their newest video, and it stopped when he found a fan dressed in the classic stressed out outfit and panned to the red socks. Just some things, fun things to be pointed out. Doesn't feel like the end to me, but that's just me. So that's one way of looking at it, right? There's more on the way. This other person, Broke Free 8646. I ran the numbers mentioned the latest YouTube videos. I know Josh mentioned Christmas, the 3 in the first video, and the numbers mentioned the second video spell out Christmas. Something significant will happen in December, maybe. Last tour date is 21 November. They're planning a Christmas reveal, or more than we ever imagined, will be able to stream from December. So that's wrong. I guess this is 26 days ago, in fairness. Spot something in Digital Remains booklet, Cottonwood, double S at the end. I'm a little lost on that. Now I'm sure they are teasing whatever it is. So people seem convinced that there's something being teased by these 3s. Christmas album. I would not hate a 21pilots Christmas album, or an EP. Maybe there are going to be 3 Christmas songs. Genuinely, here's my theory. Perligo's take on the 3. They're just trolling us and just having fun. It's a bit of a cop-out answer, but it also isn't. I don't know. Like, I don't see any reason why there would be anything particular here. 3 years of hiatus, maybe. But I don't know. I think they know we are looking for stuff all the time. And I kind of wonder, genuinely no shade on anyone who's proposing the triple album theory. I've done my own like reviews of those theories before. I have nothing against people putting out theories. I'm not convinced, but I don't think there's anything like objectively wrong with doing that. I think it could be plausible. They've seen all these theories about the triple album and they want to mess with us, but in such a like unconvincing way that they're not really leaning into the idea of there being a triple album, but they're just messing with us, right? And the reason why I think this is because I don't think there's I can very easily be convinced that the inclusion of this 3 sign is intentional. I would not be shocked if they are intentionally making sure it's in a lot of these shots, like these 2 and this one here. That would not surprise me at all. You can very easily convince me that they are doing this on purpose. But there's a very logical explanation for why the number 3 keeps appearing, and I think they're just leaning into it to have fun, but they're not really having to do that much work to lean into it or have it there. So as this person pointed out, parabolic motion. The 3 means nothing because it's just a number that's appeared before on other signs with other tours, because it just refers to the number of the room that Tyler and Josh are in, like their dressing room backstage. These number signs are just the way the crew organized the backstage area. You can see them in numerous vlogs going back to this point. Can't believe I'm having to explain this, but bands and crews are not always familiar with the venue they're working in. They use temporary signs, and he didn't say this, but they don't always want to put the artist's name on it in case someone ends up backstage, whatever. You don't want to have a sign saying Tyler and Josh are right here. And so 3, let's say, is their dressing room. Maybe it's their snack room. I don't know. It's some room that they consistently are found nearby when they're backstage. Mark keeps shooting them near there for these vlogs, behind the scenes moments. And then they decided to lean into it, because why not? That genuinely, I think, is what's a pretty likely. I'm not saying 10 toes down, yes, they're trolling us I know that for certain. They are trolling us 100%. I'm convinced of that. I would not be shocked at all. Honestly, it could have shown up in the first 2 episodes, and Mark was editing and went, oh, wait, why don't I keep doing that? Until someone else comes out, and because even the video that Levi linked is not someone proposing a theory around the 3, it's just someone analyzing it, like I'm trying to do, because again, there's like nothing here. But until someone comes out and actually has a video breaking down what the theory is and what the evidence is leading anyone towards, this is what I'm going to stick to, is that it's a prank. They're trolling us. They're having fun. They know we or at least a section of the fan base is going to overanalyze and come to conclusions based off of a bit of continuity, even when it's perfectly reasonable that there be continuity, right? Like, I don't think anyone would be batting an eye if instead of saying 3, this sign said 21 Pilots on it, and it was in the background every single time they were backstage. No one would have anything to say about that, but just because it's number 3. And we already had the sort of incepted idea of the triple album theory bouncing around because everyone's been talking about that. I think it just kind of, one thing led to another, and now everyone's going crazy with it. I thought they said they wanted to take a break, 1, and 2, that they wanted to build experiments, something different, not tied to lore. Yep, I agree. More of a direct message like the books. Yeah. Top 10 pranks went horribly wrong. But the thing is, I don't think most people, I don't know, maybe, I'll do a poll. I'm curious now. Does the 3 mean anything? Answer honestly. It's okay. There's no judgment if you think the 3 does actually mean something like significant. I'm genuinely curious sort of what the demographic is here. I could definitely hear Tyler say we should put the 3 sign in the background to myself. Yeah, and like, again, the fact that the 3 sign keeps following them wherever they go and keeps showing up every time they're backstage, as this other person mentioned, has a perfectly reasonable explanation, because that's just what happens. Replace the 3 sign with 21 Pilots and no one cares. Like, quit or end the band soon? No, I don't think so. I can very easily see them massively decreasing their output. So, okay, does the 3 mean anything? 53% said no, 43% said yes. Okay, that's actually a higher percentage than I thought. Again, in fairness, the people in the Perligo community are probably people who are already prone to theorizing anyway, but that is a higher percentage than I thought. So that's interesting. I think they already lied to us, so another lie would not make sense. And even that lie didn't feel intentional. Yes, they intentionally acted like Clancy was going to be the end of the story when it wasn't, and they knew that. But at the time, from what Tyler said in interviews, they did not know that they were going to do Breach. They didn't know there was going to be another album after Clancy. They thought there was going to be Clancy Deluxe, 3 or 4 songs added on. And then they decided against that and went with Breach. I don't think anything like that's going on here. Those are my thoughts on the 3 theory. If anyone else has any other arguments for or against, mainly for, because I'm pretty convinced of the against, but if anyone has any other arguments for why we should pursue the 3 as something significant, let me know. I'm genuinely curious to hear those theories. They are interesting to me. The triple album theory that Annabeth Duo put out on Instagram, that was fascinating. I strongly disagree. I'm not convinced of that, but it was a fascinating theory. I think stuff like that's cool even if I don't agree with it.